amaphutha ami mhlaba wazinhlupheko zami mina ngizofela amaphupho ami.
Sorry, this it's your boy Tumele Waragolole. We're out here at NKUKHUBOX Crunch Time in association with SSH Magazine. It's late, man. It's late. I got my beautiful lady, GiGi Lamayne. How's it, baby? You're good?
Good, I'm good. How are you?
I'm all good. I'm all good. I'm all good. Man, for those like who don't know you, can you please like tell us who's GiGi and when did you start like doing music and everything like that? Yeah.
So my name is GiGi Lamayne. My real name is Genesis Gabriella Tina Manny.
Okay.
My father is Khaled. My mom is Zulu. I'm from the south of Joburg. I started doing music at about 16, mainstream, appearing on TV, radio, magazine. Signed my first deal with Benty Records at the time under Pro Kid.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and then from there I moved on to Dream Team management, and then I moved on to a different record label, and now I'm at Ambitious Entertainment. Okay. So yeah.
So how's the journey been so far? Like, if you can like reminisce, like since where you started, how has it been? How has it been like so far till now?
Yeah, it's been crazy, man. I mean, I've taken a lot of strides for hip hop. You know, at a young age, I'm working with a lot of big brands. Yeah, it's been crazy, and I think I'm still going to see my best years. I'm currently at a record label whom I really believes in the dream, and I think really from here on, it's just, yeah, it's going to be crazy.
So you haven't released, okay, your first EP is actually the first EP that you dropped under Ambitious. So I want to go back, like take a little bit of memory lane. Like you dropped O Genesis. Is it O Genesis? I Genesis. Yeah, you dropped I Genesis. It was a crazy album. I believe it was a crazy album. It had a lot of tracks that I think like they were not pushed. Yeah, you know, they were like, I know there were label challenges. So when you look at how you started and where don't you feel like you were like cheated the best days on the best years of your life, and also the best work of your life? Yeah.
Definitely, I feel like that all the time, you know. But I've learned to forgive the process. I've learned to also understand the process, and that like even as a musician, you know, things may not always, you know, go your way. But I think there are paintings that Picasso painted before the ones that we know about, and those could have been his best work, but he kept pushing and he kept pushing, and I think that's how I feel right now. Regardless of, you know, the album was amazing. I honestly, my heart pains me because of that, but I do believe that the next, the album, which drops November 23rd, is probably going to be the best album of my career. And I believe in God, I believe in the process, and that everything happens for a reason. And maybe it was just me having to wait for the right time and the right people to be able to push the right work.
So basically, what do you think, like, what went wrong with pushing the previous album? What do you think went wrong, and what do you think like should have been done? And in terms of your say, like,
yeah, label challenges, man. You know, the label wants this song, they don't want that song. Preference, you know. Yeah, like I feel like I was cheated a lot of things. I think as artists we're sold a lot of dreams, and like I said, I've forgiven it. I have to move on if I'm going to have the best days of my life, my career. Yeah, but it was just the push. You know, you need to be with a team that believes in you as much as you believe in yourself, if not more. And it was unfortunate because at the time, I don't think they believed in me as much. And I've always said, like, man, since Ambitious was founded, I always felt like that was going to be home eventually. I felt like that was going to be my final stop in music. And I really do still believe that Ambitious is probably going to be the last label I'm at until my career fades away, until I get old, whatever, because I'm super happy.
Okay. Talking about happiness, man, didn't it like affect you with the whole artist living the stable? Weren't you like having your own questions like, oh man, I thought this situation that I left was the worst situation. Now going towards like another label that's having its own scandals. How like do you deal with those scandals and like yourself?
You know, I believe that one man's meat is another man's poison, one man's trash is another man's treasure. And because of that, I learned to appreciate the things that were right about my previous record label. So going into Ambitious, where you don't have to worry about a lot of things, people sit with you, they give you ideas, they give ideas, you get ideas. I think for me, that's all. That was enough. And I don't think there's anything wrong with being an artist that understands that you need a label. There are artists who want to be independent, that's great. But there are artists who want a label and a team that's already created to be able to push you. So for me, the situation was great. And as long as I'm happy in the situation I am in, the contracts I have, I don't feel like it's anybody's business, just like it isn't my business what happened with them. Because every artist's story is different. We don't really know what happened. That's between them and the label. So yeah, no, I wasn't shaken. Hey, I think maybe because I'm so desensitized to it, like it's happened so many times that I know when a situation is right and I know when it's wrong.
So don't you feel like either way you had like to speak out on different situations that were faced by other artists in terms of those things?
I definitely did. I mean, when I left the previous record label, I never hid the fact that that the reason for me leaving was because of creative differences. I never shunned from that, and I still have a very good relationship with the previous record label. So I think for me, yeah, man, it is what it is.
Shout out to GiGi one time, man. And tell me about the creative process in terms of, you have a lot of people under your stable, man. You have your, I understand pretty early just left. You have like people like Black Diamond. You have MT. You have Java. You have like a lot of people at Ambitious Records. Like, don't you feel like the kind of pressure, like, yo, man, I gotta do my best work. I gotta do all the best work,
Yeah, well, no. Yes and no. Yeah. I mean, I'm already a very competitive artist. Yeah, but because, like, there are already people who are there who are so musically inclined, why not use that to my advantage? Why not get into the studio with Java, with Saudi, with MT, find out how they can make me a better artist? And I think I always was that artist who preached about family. Like, yo, I'd really love to be part of a family of artists who support each other. And I finally found that. And I wouldn't, I mean, it's okay to be competitive in the label, but if MT wins, then I also win. If Java wins, I also win. If La Source wins, I also win. So I think for me, yeah, I'm just super happy that there's so many creative people. Like, Saudi is a musical genius. So I'm just happy that I'm in a stable with people who are so musically inclined, because then I get to challenge myself as well, and I get to challenge what they're doing. So that's great. Like,
in terms of relationships, I want to understand, because I understand, like, you might find that, like, MT has his own little African trap team, crew, and maybe Java is also part of that and everything like that. So I just wanted to know, like, don't you feel left out, or they're showing you the same love also as, like, GiGi, we're pushing the same vision, we like family, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do, and I've got my own team called Hard Rock, and it's a group of young creatives basically who puts, GiGi together. So people like Sheriff Shots, your DJ In Phases, there's a 19-year-old girl I work with as well, who hopes to go into brand strategy. So I've also got my little clique going on. So, but I mean, they always show me love. I mean, even during the listening session, Saudi's Java came out to support. For me, that was a big thing, regardless of whether they're ATM or not. I think that's their own little boy squad. And yeah, they're still just as supportive. I've never felt left out.
So tell me, like, about the EP. Like, I see, like, they were not featured on the EP. They were not on the EP. Can we expect them on the album?
Probably. You're going to expect good acts on the album. I'm really excited about the album. Like, I'm buzzing with ideas. I've been in studio all week. I'm really excited about what I'm going to do. And I think this, like I said, it's going to be my best work yet. Yeah. So, good music all around.
So, like, in terms of, like, fans, fans, like, I don't think, like, most fans adjust nicely to the change of an artist, like growth, you know what I mean? When an artist gets more musical, become more musical, like, it always confuses fans, like, man, GiGi was trying to do this and everything like that. So your fans are safe?
My fans are safe. My fans are happy. Gigi's back. Welcome back. The queen is back. I love that. And that's what I needed. I was worried, though, with the previous record label that like people weren't really understanding my direction. But now I'm super happy.
So basically, how do you treat your competition? I understand like females in the industry, it's a bit tough. Like started from badass remix and everything, like coming up to whatever shades and everything like that. But I see you cool with most of them. You know what I mean? I saw you taking a pic with Rouge. Like you're having like a sweet relationship. But what you think about the standard of, because of like the last time I interviewed Rouge, we spoke about, I called her a female MC, and she was like, no man, don't ever call me a female MC, call me an MC. You know what I mean? What you think, how is it important to live out this patriarchy, you know, this kind of situation of classifying women as female MCs? Because of, you can't say to a guy like male MC, you just say an MC, you know what I mean?
Because I could smoke your favorite rapper. Like, I could honestly smoke your favorite rapper.
Shut up. Gigi say you can smoke. Can you name one?
I smoke your favorite rapper.
Highlight Gigi for a feature right now. Highlight Gigi for a feature. If you think you got the boss. Highlight Gigi right now, man. Man, tell me, so in terms of that, the album. You started working on the album. What can we expect from Gigi, like on the album specifically?
You can expect like fire flame emojis, man. You can expect features, you can expect storytelling. Right now, I'm really inspired by somebody's project. I won't mention who, but somebody's project that just came out now. You know, there's so much storytelling, stories about love, breakups, makeups, and still he's got like the actual music going on. I think it's a very nice, clean album, and I think that's the standard that I'm looking to go for. Of course, I'm still going to bring Vernac in. I think it's very important for me to represent where I'm from, the hood. So that's what I'm going to do.
One time, we're in the hood, we're in Mabopane right now, man. NKUKHUBOX Mabopane, it's late, man. Block X, is it Block X, right? Block X, we're in Block X right now, it's late. NKUKHUBOX, shout out one time. So, talking about, man, the roots of music and how we shouldn't shift our music and lose our own identity. How important, because of now, to tell you on the shoot, a lot of people, like, when you drop an album, man, this album is not fitting, it's too African. People are already like they already adapted to the international hip-hop, like they love that hip-hop like so much. So you might drop an album like today and classify it very local so it can appeal, but people say like we'll always have a problem with it. So how are you actually planning on working on your sound? Should we expect like the Ipupo, Gigi, or what sound are you actually focusing on?
Something very international. I'm going for something very international. There's a way of being international but still making sure that your brand is localized, you know, like a Wizkid or a Davido or a Tiwa Savage or a Yemi Alade. And I think that's the route that I'm trying to take now. So obviously it's I don't believe that there's anything too African because Africa's cool right now. Africa is really cool. Wakanda, you know what I'm saying?
We are Wakanda forever. Can I say Wakanda forever? What I mean?
Wakanda forever. Yeah, so I think Africa's really cool right now. So I think the world has opened up to us. So that's exactly what I'm going to give them. I feel like the world is ready for us. Shout out to Java.
On your side, what do you think like is missing on the game? I don't want to talk about females because of now, to me, you're an MC that can smoke anybody. So I only classify you as an MC. I learned my lesson from Road, you know what I mean? So what do you think is missing in the game, and what you think with this album is something that you're trying to penetrate and close up?
I don't know. I feel like unity. I'm not sure if it's something that can be reflected on the album besides like getting together, working with people. But I think unity. I think the reason why Nigeria and all these places always walk away with a lot of these awards is because people are super united. And I think that's something that the music industry needs right now. You know, despite who's beef with who, if you're South African, you need to vote for both of them. You know what I'm saying? Everything aside. And I think that's the special thing about places like Nigeria. Like, they don't even, like, mess with the beef or whatever. Like, they're super focused on just bringing that award home. And I think that's what we need to do now. Yeah.
So, touching on, I want to get a bit on the EP because of, like, That was the angle actually of the interview. I wanna like understand like in terms of like the Ipupo track, like what inspired it?
Yo, I'd been through a lot. Every time I perform the song, I get super emotional, basically about my hardships. Going from one record label, I mean, I started off at Dream Team SA, they closed down. Then I went to, the other record label, and things didn't like end so well. You know, they didn't keep their side of a lot of things, and then now I'm here. So it's just about the dream and how the dream just keeps you going. You're looking for the right formula, and hopefully you'll find it. So whatever you're going through, trust that it's the process. Go through it. If you're not you, then who? You know?
Oh yeah, that's true. And one time again, like one thing that I wanted to touch also, the name of the EP.
Yeah.
Like what did it, I understand like you told your fans to hook up some names and everything, some cool names. What made you choose this name?
Okay, so VI is 6 in Roman numerals, and 6, there's 6 tracks, yes, but that wasn't the reason. 6 biblically represents responsibility and obligation, and I had a responsibility and an obligation to deliver a message and fulfill my purpose as an artist on this earth to people, and that's why it was called 6. So it's basically responsibility and obligation as per the Bible, to be able to use my gift for what it needs to be used for, and that's to touch people, to make people feel a certain way. And I think that's exactly what the EP did. A lot of people, are saying, Gigi's back, or Gigi's, you know what I'm saying? And some people, I've never heard Gigi sing like that on a song, or I've never heard her trap. So that was my responsibility, to be able to deliver that, and I think I did.
And also on what is it called? On Twinklet. Is it
Twinkle?
Twinklet? Yeah.
So Twinkle was with Londi London. Super amazing joint, man. People are receiving it so well, and I'm really excited. It's the second single of the EP, but it will be available on the album, because that's just how well it's been doing. EPUB has been doing amazingly well as well. Okay. So I can't wait for that to happen. But literally, like, Twinkle, same thing, inspirational. Keep reaching for the stars, keep fighting for your dream. Once you find your purpose in life, keep to it. I can't be a gospel artist because I don't feel like I'm worthy. But in terms of inspiring, through the music, through Ipupo and through Twinkle, that was just my gospel and my testimony in my own way. Beyond religion, beyond everything else. Like, it's just something inspirational. I love trap, I love a lot of things, but whoa, if I can inspire people, then I'm happy.
More life, man, you know what I mean? These people are like, they don't understand. Music is a spiritual thing. You have to touch souls, you understand? The more souls you touch, kind of like blessed right now, you know what I mean? So now we're going to get on Roll. Yeah. What inspired the track?
Roll has got a bounce, man. It's just Gigi playing around. Buza la pekoneni, mean with the hits, roll with the click, roll with the click, skim some fire, burn in the chick. So it's literally got that vibe. It's really gassy. Like, I feel like if there was anything I'd change about the song, I'd probably have gotten like a Kid X or a Questa on it. I think like it needs that kind of vibe,
Can we get the remix on the album?
We get the remix on the album.
You know what I mean?
That would be crazy.
Yeah, man, I can imagine Questa like,
Good idea. That's an actually good idea.
Questa, you got it here first, boy. We need you on the album. Gigi's album's coming up. We need you on the remix, bro. Yes, boy. Yeah, you know what I mean? So let's get on Baddest in the Game. Yeah.
So Baddest in the Game features Eminent Fam. They're an upcoming hip-hop crew, 5 young men from Soweto. In actual fact, one of them used to dance for me. And, he kept telling me, yo, I'm now doing music. And I didn't believe him. I was just like, oh, whatever. And then I finally took him seriously, and I was so shocked. And the minute I found out how good he was, I got him into the studio. We've got like about 6 songs together, but the best one that suited the EP well was Baddest in the Game. And that's exactly what it's about. Just being, you're the baddest in the game, and you're here to reclaim your position and the throne. It's great. Thank you for coming, but I'm back now.
One time, Gigi's back in the game. The album's coming out in November, right? November, man, is going to be late. SSH, we buying 100 copies.
Thank you.
We buying 100 copies. Quote that tweet right now, everywhere you are. We buying 100 copies. Yes. But we're going to get on the last one, Stimela. Just like I fell in love only the name.
Yeah.
Then getting to the track, it's a whole different vibe. It's a vibe.
Yeah.
It's a vibe now, you know what I mean? So it was a vibe. So, man, I think like so far, man, I just want to ask you on the response and the feedback of the EP. How's it so far?
I'm still waiting for a bad response. Honestly, social media, is only one part of the country, a very small part. And I was waiting for the criticism. And not even one bad thing came out. And I'm not saying it's worrying me, but people are so nice about it, which means I got it right.
Yeah.
So guys,
So
I feel
now
super
we should
inspired.
Be more excited about the album.
That's exactly what was said at the listening session, that you know what, if this is what's going on right now, we are worried because your album needs to be better than this EP, and this EP right now is burning a chick.
I mean, shout out. It's the crunch time. It's the crunch time. Man, I'm really happy about the EP. I love it. Can't wait for the album. We buy 100 copies right now. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, if you see me and the album drops and I am bullshit, just remember, just remind me. We buy 100 copies. Anyway, we have this tradition in our show called NKUKHUBOX Crunch Time. Since we're in the hood, but we're bringing some sentence in the hood, you know what I mean? We're modifying these quotas and everything, you know what I mean? So that's why we have this tradition of having our guests biting on e-quota la secas. This is e-quota. It's a lot. It's a vibe. We just want that one bite, you know what I mean? That official NKUKHUBOX Crunch Time bite. Just a little bit. Man, it's the NKUKHUBOX Crunch Time. It's going in right now. It's going in. It's the crunch time. Woo! Man, it went in. It's the crunch time. It's a lot. It's a lot. Thank you a lot, man. It's been a vibe. It's been a vibe. So, man, to the fans out there and everybody who's a GiGi fan, who's a GiGi Lamayne fan, GiGi is safe when it comes to the music. You don't have to panic. GiGi is safe when it comes to the music. You don't have to panic. So, last words from GiGi Lamayne. Going out of the interview, what can you expect and what's happening? Just even maybe some motivation to the kids out there, you know what I mean? Yeah.
There's a God in you, therefore there's nothing that you can't do. Yeah. And that's how I feel right now. There's nothing I can't do. Anybody watching this, thank you.
Yeah, it's a vibe. It's a vibe.
That was on camera. No. There is nothing you can't do,
Yeah.
So shout out to everyone who supports my music. Shout out to you guys. It's been a vibe. Yeah. I had a gota before this. I'm having another one now. It's going down, guys. I was telling people this setup is amazing. More people need to come through and see this place. But thank you so much for having me, guys. People like you keep me going, keep me motivated. And I'm for anything that's local. And that's why we came all this way, because that's important first, local over everything.
You understand? Man, shout out to GiGi Lamayne, shout out to Ambitious Records, shout out to Khadi, shout out to whoever is behind the PR. Man, it's a vibe, man. It's been a vibe. It's been an absolute vibe. We had GiGi Lamayne on the NKUKHUBOX Crunch Time. Man, we can't wait to host it in PDA, bring the tour in PDA. You know what I mean? Good in the plug. I'm calling at you. Plug.
We have something again.
Yeah, boy.
Sorry for being late.
Sorry for being late. So it's some captain match, you know what I mean? It's a vibe.
It was my birthday.
Oh,
I feel like I'm having my birthday again. Instead of a cake, they give me life sprays.
Man, in the hood, we don't eat cakes. We eat the quarter, I understand. In your birthday, we don't do anything. We just eat the quarter. We put Amma chips as candles at the top, right? It's a vibe. Anyway, man, thank you a lot for coming through. Thank you to GiGi Lamayne. Thank you to Ambitious Record. The album is coming out in November. Make sure you follow her on all the social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter. Shout out to Made in Social. Shout out to Social Evolution. Shout out to SSH Magazine. Shout out to everybody who made an effort to make sure that we're here today. Shout out to everybody. I'ma ride this wave till it's over.
Dimela sasezola. Stretch that money out like it's yoga. I'm on that train to the gold, I'm on that choo-choo. On the very next day we cop that new. Call it magic, we be tricking like it's voodoo. On that train to the gold, I'm on that choo-choo. I'm gonna trap on them boys, I'm gonna trap on them boys. All of your music be noise, classy like Suede in the voice. Feel like I'm limited stock, getting it after the shot.